What's good, everybody? What's going on, man? It's Stephen Qualls II, aka Mr. Qualified. It's your boy. And we're back with the Right Quality podcast. Clearly, Miguel did not get the message. We're supposed to be bringing new hairstyles to the episode. Gail
I
missing.
did. I did it all summer. What do you want? A ponytail,
Okay,
like a
okay.
bird?
I guess we gotta catch
Oh,
up.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
late.
I'm
We're
like
late.
10 down. Come on now.
Please, for the people who may be new to us, remind them or introduce yourself to them and remind our current audience of who you are.
Ashley Wright the first, best curls on the pod.
Introducing me. You're introducing me. Okay, appreciate that. Best curls in the pod, as did say Ashley Wright. The fourth. Yeah, I had to think about the Roman numerals for a second. RNC cannon fodder number 8. I'm in a battleground territory. I'm in. Oof. Pray for me, y'all.
Yeah, it's gonna get
Lord.
wicked. It's gonna get wicked in the city for sure.
Play it by ear. Because
Is Wisconsin swing? What is Wisconsin? Are you guys red?
not smart. It's one of those. Scott Walker was our governor. Tony Evers is our mayor, or whatever it is. He's our governor now. I don't care.
It's weird. Honestly, it really depends.
It's just bad. It's not good. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about news right now. It was a hot week. Historic week. We're living through the history books right now. But we're talking Olympic basketball. It's the good part of USA right now, right?
Yeah, one would hope. Olympic basketball. But yes, it is once again upon us. The men's national team has already been selected. We have been through that. But they have played a few exhibition games. They are gearing up for the games in Paris. Believe that starts end of the month, maybe July 26th to be exact. Don't quote me on that. But I will start with this, I guess. Initial thoughts on what the little bit that we have seen from the team up to this point. Or do we want to start with Kawhi?
Oh, that's so juicy.
Yeah, because he couldn't even play. Like we got some good flicks. Got some good flicks with him.
Got the aura picks.
Yeah. Made sure we locked that in first, and then they were like, "No, we will not have you." But it looks good in the photo books. But yeah, what's going on? Well, what's the deets?
I'm confused. So who decided that he wasn't gonna play?
So it sounded like the Clippers at first, but now the Clippers are saying that they did not have a part in it. Which
was it USA Basketball that decided they didn't want him to play?
Which maybe I heard contractual agreements, which that's clearly just speculation from my basketball chat that I'm in, because they're like, is it a New Balance thing? Is it like, but no, because we have Curry and Embiid, who are both not Nike, so it's like we're just trying to check off like what it may be right now. It's just kind of like. I don't know. Like I think what we got so far is like, did he tell different camps different things? That is what one of my homie number 1 speculated in the chat. So that's what I got. My sources.
We don't know about.
Well, I never thought that. It didn't seem like he 100% healed from whatever was happening in the playoffs. So I thought he was already coming in with something lingering, as a couple players might. I don't think Embiid is 100%. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think that was the problem. I thought he was healthy enough to play, and it seemed like he looked good in the little training camp and scrimmage they had, which was why the initial decision was so confusing. But now with these reports coming out, it's just like, who's telling the truth, bro? Because if the man could play, why ain't the man playing? I don't understand. I don't get this.
I don't either.
Yeah, I've kind of stopped paying attention because it's getting confusing. Where it's just like, I just am sticking with the first story where they're like, Clippers didn't want him to play. I assume it's his knee. That's the most logical conclusion I can come to, without being too like, what's going on. It's a deep cover, deep agency guy. Yeah, I'm not getting in the weeds of that.
Yeah, I know for a fact this wasn't Kawhi's decision. Just because I feel like if Kawhi wasn't going to play, I don't think Kawhi. I think he would have made that decision long ago, or he would have let them know that he wasn't open to playing. So clearly, somebody made this decision for him. The Clippers making it made sense. Also, I don't know how that works if a team can actually like either pull a player or what that conversation
They
looks
can have
like.
stay. Like when Giannis was trying to play FIBA ball
Fair.
after his like injury, they were like, we would advise that he didn't. We would like for you not to, since we're paying you all this money. So it's like I think they can have a say. I don't know if they have like the end all be all, but I mean they are under contract, so yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. That's really wonky. Really
Miss him.
wonky.
Miss him. That would have been cool to see, you know. It's
Mhm.
married to the old and the new, but shouts out Derek White.
Shouts out.
That's another.
Team USA playing the we don't see Jaylen Brown and Kyrie challenge. They're doing
Yeah, I don't know. So somebody made a great point. They said if you're gonna have three Celtics on the Olympic roster anyway, it doesn't make sense why Jaylen Brown isn't one of those three Celtics. I don't have a counter for that. That's an amazing.
Al Horford. Al Horford should be there. I'm putting my life on the line for him.
He's Team Dominicana.
Damn, you're right. And Kristaps Porzingis team some
Latvia.
European.
Latvia? Ain't it Latvia?
One of them.
One of them.
One of them. Lithuania, Latvia.
I honestly no, you can't convince me why Derek White was so easily. It would be one thing if they went to a couple people and they said no, but for them to already have like that's this whole even cycle of news was weird because as soon as they were saying Kawhi wasn't playing, they already had Derek White's name, and granted, his name was brought up originally when they were deciding the roster, but you're just not going to convince me that you're taking Derek White on an Olympic team that's supposed to just be a collection of your greatest talent over Jaylen Brown, over Kyrie Irving. Hell, if we opening up the field at this point, Brunson, we could if we gonna open up the field. I mean, there's a lot of people that could have been
Hold on.
selected.
I forgot. Kyrie's probably like, no, Team Australia, and he probably could make Team Australia. He had to beat out Delvedova. That's a tough sell.
I'm crying. I mean, I think it's clearer why Kyrie probably was not selected, but the Jaylen Brown non-selection is very puzzling. I don't know if that is what's the whole Nike thing though. I don't what's that whole snafu about that was confusing to me a little bit.
Well, it was something basically Jaylen Brown was asking since when has Nike cared about like the livelihood of their workers, like overseas workers, and like there are images of him wearing Kobe's but taking off the swoosh. And he tweeted something about Kyrie's Chief sneakers with the I'm losing the word for it.
Hella?
Fringes. Yeah, Hella with the fringes on it. And he was like, I need me a pair of these. So I think they just kind of clocked him going after Nike. But how much say so does Nike have with who's on Team USA?
Well,
I mean,
I think enough to probably not have Jaylen Brown and Kyrie Irving on there. I think that's just enough pull.
That doesn't make enough. That doesn't make sense to me though. Like, why does the uniform supplier have so much say so?
Because that's America, baby. That isn't blue-blooded American culture to say that the highest bidder can't say what you're who's wearing that uniform. Ooh, yeah, they might have said, hey, hold on. He was wearing paper bags over his shoes for a whole season, and also this guy is a part of the Muslim Brotherhood. We probably don't want them representing USA basketball. This is probably going to be a political statement in the making. I think you're right though. They did clock him. They clocked him good.
That's tough. And it's weird though, because in speaking of Nike, apparently Nike is like, I don't know what the right language is, but the funds ain't funding for Nike the way they used to.
Oh, I didn't hear that, and that makes sense.
I don't have the exact report, so again, don't fully quote me on this, but somewhere in there, them funds or projected funds or whatever the case may be ain't what Nike ain't what they may be used to. Because there was even a conversation about how many Nike athletes are on the roster, but I mean, more so generally speaking, a lot of the other brands have started to make headway toward being on the same level as Nike. I don't want to get into the weeds of brand versus brand. I don't know how much that is at play here, but something going on with Nike. That's why all this happened. Something going on with Nike.
Outside of Nike, I think I'm just reading deeper into it. They definitely clocked who Jaylen Brown and Kyrie were because they could not have them on Team USA without them making a comment of like, yeah, well, what's happening in Palestine is a travesty. Cut that mic, brother, man. They would, oh yeah, it'd be a terrible day for Team USA if they were on that team because they would have too many things to say. That is one of those things where when they draft dude and they're like, he has too many outside interests. This is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what, Gil? That's a great point. And now that I think about it, they don't necessarily have a lot of outspoken athletes on this.
I mean, you got LaChina, you got homeowner. What is it called? What is it? What's it called? Homeowners agency. Him and Aisha were trying to keep us out. Homeowner association. We got HOA Steph. Oh man, we got A Disney. That's a corporation.
A Disney.
But no, I mean, truly, we got some patriotic people that, like classics. We'll be out here. Yeah, I remember Barack Obama went and got LeBron when George Hill tried to stop the league during the bubble, and Barack was like, "I know you want that ring, Bronny. I know you want that ring. Tell them not to stop the NBA and take a look at this police reform stuff. What if we went to Disney and made a little, we could get something going. I can make a little COVID-free zone for you right here, Bron." And they made a deal with the devil. He got his ring that year. All is good. The world is back to normal. This is my deep conspiracy. It's my deep state conspiracy. They do got a lot of yes men out there that would not like to ruffle feathers and just go get their gold medal and hoorah, hooray.
That is more so the point. I was getting at conspiracy theorists. But no, I do think they have a lot of players who are just playing it easy. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of those players probably have opinions on these other things going on, but you got a lot of players that's not trying to mess up their bag, or their bag is solidified, so they ain't trying to screw that up at all. So they just playing it safe. But nonetheless, to the roster and to what we have seen thus far, early thoughts on how they looking.
I got my first question for y'all. Who is the most important piece to Team USA success? Because I have a wild answer.
Out of the entire roster? Out
of the entire roster, who is the person that is going to determine how well that they do? And I have an answer.
As of right now, it looks like AE. If he went off today against Australia.
I think he is our number one. I think that's not a shock to me more. So I think he's the most, he's our number one. But I think there's a person that plays a more critical role to our success.
Like an X factor.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you're thinking Ant.
I think he's thinking Tyrese.
I am not. Tyrese also played well too. Like I said, he was going to fit into this team, even with the old heads coming in. It is Anthony Davis.
Okay.
That is who is the most important piece to us making it through the next round. I think Joel Embiid, in the inverse way,
that was going to be,
he needs to figure out what he looks like on Team USA. I think,
and in international play more so.
Yeah, because he's just eating up space. It doesn't look yuck. But man, just he needs to play like Philly Embiid, where he just sits in the perimeter and then just like chill. But why not? But I think AD, from what I've seen in these first couple games, I think when it gets to those games, I think Serbia is going to be a big game to see, especially against a prime big like him. But then when you see France with Gobert and Wemby, when you see, it never know if we may see Giannis at a point, but it's like, which big is going to be able to guard multiple positions like that and play that rim running role? I think that every big that's played on Team USA is kind of ran, where it's like, was it Dwight before? I think Montrez had a good FIBA Cup 1 year where it's like a rim running big that is able to defend. And I think AD is defending at a way better level than what Montrez Harrell ever would have played ever. So I think depending on how how well he plays throughout this FIBA Cup, I think he is probably the most important X factor piece, other than Embiid figuring out what he looks like on the team for our success.
So I have a question. When you say AD is the X factor, like what part of his game? Do we need Anthony Davis that's trying to stretch the floor? Do we need Anthony Davis that's a paint presence? Like what part of AD's game is the most important?
His mobility as a big. And that's defensively and offensively, where it's just like he doesn't have to worry about stretching the floor because everyone is going to be getting theirs up, whether it's AE, Devin Booker, Steph, and he's just cleaning glass and creating havoc. On defense, it's him being able to switch on to guards, switch on to bigs, and play, a Wemby, a Gobert down low where he can, use what he's got against them. Because I think Wemby is going to be like the weirdest cover for anybody that they face, but they also did lose to Serbia too, so it's like, it's still exhibition ball. Like I think it's going to be way more competitive when you get towards Olympic time. But I think AE, of course, like how well he plays, but he's always gonna come out and do his thing no matter what, and he just looks, that step quicker than everybody right now. But AD, I think, in terms of like Drew Holiday, even where it's just like those defenders on Team USA are really going to win games for us or decide games for us in general.
Agreed on all fronts. I don't know if I would say that Ant is definitively the X factor, but what I do think is, what I do think is the best way I can describe this. I'm not saying this is the exact same parallel because in no way is it, but in the same way that Kobe and Bron had to mesh in 08. But also like Bron's freshness was like needed just as much as like Kobe's leadership was. I think we will have to see that in the inverse. I think Bron's greatest strength will be his leadership in these Olympics. But I think Ant being young, having some of the freshest legs, having that extra step that a lot of this roster doesn't. Hi, Callie.
What did it do, Callie?
Let us see.
Callie, what did it do? Put that. Get up here. Come on. I remember chasing you around.
Hi, Callie.
What did it do?
Hi, all right.
What's good?
All right. Nonetheless, but no, that parallel will probably need to happen. But Ant has also ironically looked the most comfortable. From the small bits that I've seen, he seems the most comfortable scoring. He seems the most comfortable in this flow. And you have players that have played in the Olympics before, so this change to FIBA rules isn't new.
And he played FIBA too, so it's like he was the best one on that team too.
Very true. So I do think he will end up. I think he'll probably end up being in the starting lineup whenever they solidify that. But that's actually my next question. We've seen Kerr play around with the lineups, obviously, just trying to figure out what makes the most sense. What do you all think makes the most sense for the starting lineup for Team USA?
I'm going to be honest. Right now, I don't think Embiid should be starting.
No.
Should it?
Absolutely not.
I don't think he should be starting.
No.
Can Embiid do anything to change your mind on that?
Nope.
No. Literally, he is just filling space, like Miguel said. Like, there's nothing he's doing right now that's giving me anything to fight for why he should be starting. Nothing.
I mean, and with AD being the piece, it makes more sense for him to be in the starting lineup.
But it's a little scary, though, because it's like, who do you want to insert into the 4? Steph, AE, LB. See, no, that's what I didn't like because.
Wait, so why Bam instead of AD?
Yeah,
because AD is going to help out Embiid on defense.
Oh,
and you have Drew. You have Drew to help out on defense too.
But can't Bam do it?
I like
Can
it.
Bam do it?
Bam could, but I feel like AD's more lengthy, and Bam can play that stocky big a little bit better.
Yeah,
I think the 5. I think the 5 will end up being interchangeable based on
matchup.
And I think Kerr will have to not be attached to a certain starting lineup. Not that I think he will, but he can't be because they're just gonna play certain opponents where it's like he's gonna have to go with a different big. But I think he's gonna mess with the lineup a lot, to be honest.
I think off the bench, if you have it's Halliburton running that point second unit, you have Drew playing lead guard defensively, you have D Book play small forward, and then you have AD and Embiid. That's not terrible. It's enough defenders to cover up.
Do you have JT? Do you have JT?
Oh, Tatum. Oh, oopsies.
Yeah. I was gonna say who's the odd man? Who's the odd man out?
Go Tatum in there, and then Hallie could just be like literally a guard sub just to freshen it up wherever. He could be first up for Steph, and then Drew comes in again defensively when Embiid comes in.
I think Bam will bring a little more energy too as a starter than AD would, especially like you said when it comes to certain lineups. Bam being he's a little quicker on his feet too, in my opinion. So like the rotation won't take a lapse either. Go ahead.
Is Bam more versatile than AD?
In terms of like position, like all around, like offensively, I feel like they can run the ball through him more. And
you can't sell me on offensively because I think you can still run everything through AD. But if
you could, but I think is Bam not the better big passer?
I think Bam is a lot more consistent in a role like that than AD would be, because AD falls in love with his jumper more than Bam would. Bam would
more pick and roll too.
It's not going down. Yeah,
you could put it in Bam's hands, and he's gonna do like a high low screen roll, like you see that happen in Miami. Like he could run that not far more effectively, but more effectively than AD. I think.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that, but I think that to the versatility point, I agree that Bam makes sense on the team, so it doesn't really matter what lineup you put him in, he'll make sense. But in that starting lineup with those players, because I had noticed that KD hasn't been playing, and I didn't realize he had a calf injury, but apparently he's going to be ready for the Olympics, so that's all that matters. I would imagine. It's going to be interesting. I think like in the early struggles, I think they'll figure that out. I will say, I do think even if we do struggle, we benefit from being in a relatively, I ain't trying to disrespect no other countries. Let me just say that first and foremost. I respect all the countries playing in the Olympics, but I do feel like the USA is in the lightest group compared to others. I think they will benefit from that. I'm not saying I necessarily want to see them play tough competition sooner rather than later. But if they're trying to figure out what this team chemistry kind of looks like, I think they'll benefit from being in a group where they won't have to face a Canada in group play. Like they won't necessarily be faced with these games where if they, for whatever reason, went 3-1, 2-2, and then it becomes a thing of hoping that they get one of those last slots as opposed to a guaranteed from group play. I think that benefits them. But speaking of the groups, is it widely considered that Group A is the toughest group out the three?
I think they got Greece, Spain,
Canada,
and Germany. Or was the last one?
God.
I think that's Group A.
That's easily the best one, I think. Like,
Group A is crazy
because us is really just USA and Puerto Rico. But
because it's South Sudan and ours. Is South Sudan and ours?
Yeah, Puerto Rico, South Sudan, Serbia. USA.
Yeah. It's no. Oh wait, Group A is Australia.
Sorry, not Germany. That's
Canada and Spain, and then B is France, Germany, and Brazil.
They're all not terrible. It goes Group A and then it goes C because of us, honestly.
Oh,
and then B.
I didn't realize Serbia was in our group.
Yeah. So it's like A, C, B.
So it's kind of good that they're playing Serbia because that's what I'm scared of.
It'll be interesting to see how we defend that. France is weird though. I don't like them either. But we should be able to contend them.
France is scary.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Canada really.
So if we were going to assume, right, who do you think are the two that come out of Group A? Like the top two in Group A. Who do you think that'll be?
Canada.
Does a team go undefeated in Group A? That's the better question.
No, it didn't sound like it.
Canada's the closest, I think. But I think it's gonna be Canada and Australia. how badly I want Greece to come out of there so badly. And Spain is always a dark horse. Spain, who?
Always.
But no Gasols. Is
No.
Mark playing?
No.
Then I
The
don't.
old Spain, I think the only old Spain Spaniard playing is Rudy.
Wait, Fernandez? Rudy Fernandez is still playing. I thought it was done on the last one. Wait, what? What about Juancho? Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, he's on there
Juancho is
too.
playing.
Okay.
Both of
Yep.
them. Both
Yep.
of them.
Okay.
Yep.
They both are.
Rudy Fernandez.
He's
He's
on
Trailblazers like 2006
This is his fifth Olympics or sixth. I think.
before Wesley Matthews.
old as dirt. He's so old.
Yeah.
He's like Di Maria. I was just watching him cry.
Hey,
That's crazy. Sorry, soccer. There's been a lot of old goats just dipping. But wow, sorry. Rudy Fernandez. Wow. I'm shocked. I think I got to give it to Spain. They got Rudy Fernandez.
crying.
He's probably still dunking.
I don't think Australia is as scary as they could be.
I'm afraid of Patty Mills every time he sees a FIBA ball. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's time.
that's it. Oh,
And they made it close at the end of that game too.
So, they did. They did.
I'm kind of interested to see Greece because I'm wondering just how dominant Giannis will be. Like we've seen him be dominant in international play, like especially
Luka out.
Especially getting Greece into Olympic play. And I mean, obviously he's seen all the players. I mean, well, he's seen players on USA, yes, but he's seen a lot of players from around the world, obviously. But if Giannis can be as dominant as he naturally is, I would imagine Greece would have to be just as much of a dark horse as anybody.
I don't know. Note the Gnosis.
They got Costas.
What's funny?
They got Costas.
How much of a difference? How much of a difference does the Gnosis make?
I mean, how long do you have? I could. Man, what we have 7:30. We got 20 minutes. All right, I'm pulling up the stats.
Please.
Oh my gosh.
Spare us, please.
I'm finding the FIBA international stats. Hold on, huh?
We can use our 20 minutes more wisely.
Let's see how we can do that. All right.
Miguel, everything you're about to say is unserious, so we might as well not even.
Hey man, I'm as serious as
you're about to read off my high school stats.
I'm as serious as Julian Arosa. That's for my UFC fans. I don't even know who that is. I was just reading a name about someone who won. I was going to say Drew Dober. That name sounds better, but he got knocked out.
I'm crying. Okay. Last thing with the groups. Pick the 8 that's going to make it to medal play.
Oh, that's juicy.
So it's 2 from each group?
2 from each group, and then it's the 3 best. 2 from each group, and I think it's the 3 best 2 from each group, and then the 2
best point standings
records or best point standings, however it works after that.
All right, my hopes, my dreams. USA, Serbia are the 2 that qualify from there. Germany and France from the second group. And then I got Canada and I got Australia. And then I got God bless America, Puerto Rico, and Greece. Come on. Speaking into existence, no other vibes. That's vibes. It's Giannis, and then that's my bloodline. That's all I got.
My bloodline.
Got a Boricua! Let's go, Jose Alvarado. I couldn't make it to tryouts. I probably would have made the team, but they're guard heavy. So it's like, to take the ball away from those guys, like they're in their prime right now, I'm going to let them have their shine. But could have made it. Could have made it over there. But, I got to talk the basketball. I got too many jobs.
Puerto Rico, to make that 8, Puerto Rico would have to, at bare minimum, go
not get scraped by USA by like 50.
Well, but they'll have to go 2-2 in group play.
Easily.
Are they going to beat USA or Serbia?
They're going to beat South Sudan for sure. I'm going to go to the parlay tonight. I'm going to go put a play on that right now. And then Jose Alvarado 10 backcourt steals on Tyrese Halliburton because he doesn't know. We end up making it like a 4-point game, end up losing, takes us into the game against Serbia, where Nikola Jokic won't be able to guard any of our, I seen how bigs like that guard Puerto Ricans on a pick and roll. We're about to expose that. It's a wrap. I got an inside edition. Mark my words. Catch me once the Olympics starts. Don't use this as a clip.
I think somebody. Well, I think 3 teams will come out of Group A, and I'm probably gonna say 3 teams are gonna come out of Group B, and I think it'll be the U.S. and Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
So you think it's gonna be like Spain out of that first group?
Could be Spain or Australia, honestly.
Oh yeah, Greece coming out of A for sure.
I think they're gonna be in the 3. I don't know if they'll be in the top 2. I think they'll be in that 3 somewhere.
I was wondering. I have to make sure.
The Japanese are sneaky guys.
What does that mean?
All right, ninjas.
What does that mean? We're gonna have to investigate that one deeper on the pod. That's
what did I say? Did I say something like weird?
No.
That sounds like what a political candidate would say. Those Japanese, they're sneaky.
I want to be far away from that.
Hey, I'm
Miguel, why do you sound like a specific political candidate, though?
Yeah, why was that the voice?
Because the other one is saying rabba dabba. All right. The no polls are saying that. No polls saying that.
He definitely
one, and then the other is the Japanese are sneaking into the country by a boat. By plane.
Crazy. By a boat?
They built them. They're flying in them. They're probably teaching each other it. Look above.
Look above is crazy.
They do be Bible.
Amen. Say man. It sounded very topical. It sounds,
Let me finish it. The Japanese.
You might have a couple votes this year, Ashley. You might have some written on the ballot.
No, please don't vote me.
I'm right. There's some right around me. They're probably hearing like, who's that woman? I want to see right now.
I want no parts. I hate politics so bad.
We could grift so well. We'll talk.
I'm in it for the merchandise though.
I really was gonna buy like 100 guildens and just put FJB on there and just go down there and just sell them for like $10 a pop. I would pay rent today. 100%. 100%. Send me the Venmo right now. I'll go down, but I'll make it something that's not as divisive so they could just buy it and my conscience won't feel awful. We can make it True Patriot. I can put True Patriot on a shirt. I'll go down there right now and whack them. That sounds crazy. Whack them with the prices and the sales that I would make. I'm too close. They have radio towers like everywhere.
Somehow, in a weird way, this political conversation still somehow attaches to the fact that we're talking about U.S.
Olympic basketball. Oh, wow. Hog wild over that. Come on now. Bring it home. England couldn't do it, but we will.
Anyway, I think one of the last questions I had in regard to Olympic basketball was, obviously, as the story has been told, the world has caught up with the United States as it pertains to basketball, as we all can see by the number of international players in the league and how we've seen, international basketball play out outside of the Olympics. But with talent being so widespread, across the world now, does it feel like the Olympics can be seen in the same light of like a March Madness? I don't say that to make them super comparable, but the idea that like any given night, a team can catch you sleeping, a team can surprise you. It's not a guarantee that any team really and more specifically the US, is just going to walk over any particular country at this point. Do you all like agree with that statement, or do y'all still feel like there's enough of a gap to where the USA should be relatively dominant?
I understand where you're coming from, and it does kind of give that energy because we've been punched in the mouth before, like walking in just thinking, oh, this is USA basketball, we run it, blah, blah, blah. So that makes sense. And I think that that's a decent comparison because of the mindset that the USA can have sometimes. But I think with the group that we're in, there's enough respect level for them to take it a little more serious because Serbia is no pushover. I do want to say Puerto Rico can be a team that can sneak the US if the US is sleeping enough. So I think, they're going to come up eyes wide.
Anyways, where were we? Team USA.
Yes.
Patriotic. God bless America. We just got, what?
No, I'm just waiting to hear what you go say.
We're that close. But we're back again, brother. We're stronger than ever. Grazed us, but here we are.
Okay, so my last two questions for Team USA. Will we go undefeated in group play?
Did you see what happened the other day? Absolutely. I don't think USA will lose an event.
Yeah, I don't think they will. What?
We are galvanized as a country. We are.
I beg your pardon?
We're turned up right now. He said, and the flag was behind him. It's a wrap. We might, but Michael Phelps might come back from the dead.
Never surrender.
We are about to, you're about to see an eagle flying across the game. It's about to be a moment.
No respect.
Everything that could happen may happen. My MJ might come back for a game.
But what we are not going to do is give bro them any credit for anything that the USA accomplishes.
No, hey, listen. It was a historic fumble how any of that even was near happening. It was a historic they saw him 30 minutes before. Sorry, we're getting the news now. They climbed up a ladder, saw him in his spot. This is the cops, and they climbed back down the ladder because he was scared. Oof. We were, like I said, completely our fault. But also turning it into Olympic basketball, we're galvanized more than ever. I think we have something to play for. The people are united.
Gail, what we playing for, Gail?
America, baby. Come on. It's the Olympics.
I don't like how you're trying to tie this into bro and them. I don't
Star Spangled. No, it has nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him.
Just how the country is feeling.
You see where I'm at. You see what's going on in my city. It's a parade inside my city. No, I don't like it. But they're here. I feel it.
I asked this man, was we gonna go undefeated in group play? And this is
and somehow we.
And I said absolutely.
Oh yeah, he did. The
absolutely
got lost in the rest.
Is it lost or is it? Like I said, you can.
So unserious, dude.
Hold on, wait. I gotta get my quote in order. Hold on. Hold on. He said, you can't make half a sandwich, but you can eat half a sandwich.
Who said this?
Is it real?
Think about it.
No.
People are dying that have never died before.
You can't make half a sandwich. Exactly. You can't make half a sandwich, but you can eat half a sandwich.
Yo, what does that mean? Please tell me.
Think.
I'm trying. I'm not getting nowhere.
Think on the deeper level. You'll get it. End of the pod is gonna click.
It won't.
That's how it feels for Team USA.
I guess you kind of have to make the full sandwich and then you only eat half of it.
You can't ever make half of the sandwich because that sandwich will always be.
Yeah, I'm not putting
whatever you make.
Half bacon, half tomato on the full slice of bread.
Because it's still, we are a whole is what I'm trying to say, Qualls. Current day, we are together more than ever.
And I hate I'm breaking this down, but
unity unites all of us.
I hate that this makes sense. I feel like you're satisfied from that.
We are at a point, Qualls, like I said, we are together. We are
You know what? This pod will be cheering on USA basketball in the Olympics. I hope you are as well, or you're cheering for whatever country you are
Puerto
representing,
Rico.
whatever country you want to. This episode will drop shortly before the Olympics, so we'll all be watching in real time. I'm gonna get off here before Miguel comes up with something else. That's
Hold
This is
on,
for
hold
abuelas
on.
everywhere. Abuelas everywhere cheering on.
Hold on, we're here. Sorry, I got to go through this mobile ad.
mobile ad.
I bet this is the Puerto Rican national anthem on YouTube.
No anthem, just waving flag. Sign us out, Qualls.
And until next episode, we'll catch y'all next time.
Tell them.